Hello everyone, B-Fight here and welcome to a new video. We have some new interesting clips to show you. Stay tuned to the end and hope you enjoy.
How could we not get attached to someone like you? Just treat it like you would treat the TV show Mad Men. I mean, you shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching. That's it. That's what I want from you guys. If I'm ever resident sleeper, I want you to stop watching me because I'm not your friend. I will never, ever hang out with you. And I don't care about you because I don't know you. I can't. There are 13,000 people here. I can't care about all of you because I don't know any of you. So all I do is I turn on Twitch. I treat you like a coherent body of people and I stream to entertain. That's all I do. And you have to recognize that. I'm not... Even if you drop a primer, yes, even if you drop a primer, I still ain't your home.
I know from hanging out with them, the little that I hung out with them, it's not like I was buddy with them. Fed and Pokey were like always together, you know? Unless Pokey was seeking another guy. But usually they were pretty close together. They were always with each other. And I'm sure this is not easy for Pokimane, as much as people want to perceive that this is easy for Pokimane and that this is like not some troubling time. This isn't easy for her. And I really need to get better content. She's right. But look, I stand by, like I said today, I called Fed. He is going to get shit done. He is taking a lot of time off and he's going to figure shit out, whether it's through therapy and other stuff. And I don't know if this is wrong of me to say, but I still like Fed as a person. I hope he gets better. I hope he gets better because I really do like Fed. I like the guys. I really hope he gets better. And I hope that he can get therapy. I hope he can learn from his mistakes. And after months and months of time and stuff like that, I hope.
The Yvonne incident happened and Fed would start talking to me. I'm so sorry for being emotional. He would talk to me about how Yvonne was lazy and not working enough and playing League all the time. And I was concerned. And he would say, oh, she like won't work on OTV stuff with me or brainstorm and blah, blah, blah. And this discussion got to the point of us almost letting Yvonne go from the company because we thought she just like wasn't interested enough in working with us. When in reality, her behavior was entirely because of the incident that happened between them two. And so it just blows my mind that he would try to manipulate the narrative in that way. And kind of aggressively, if that makes sense. Like, he was really not wanting her there anymore. And, mind you, I did not know about the Yvonne incident at this time. So, the reason I'm so emotional and angry about this is because I think back to how I acted then, and I feel so bad. I feel so fucking bad that, like, I would talk to Yvonne, like, sternly about, like, oh, like, we need to work, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I had no idea the reason she was behaving the way that she did was because she was so incredibly uncomfortable around him. So, yeah, I just feel really bad, and I'm so sorry to Yvonne and Lily, and I really wish I knew back then. As for Lily, after the incident with her and him, and after he tried to like get with her basically, when she was really vulnerable and like heartbroken and in probably the worst mental state I've ever seen her after her breakup with Albert, after he tried to get with her in that state, he started complaining to me about how Lily and Michael were hanging out a lot and excluding him, and how he felt lonely, and how he felt like Lily ditched him as a friend. And I genuinely felt so bad for Fed. Again, mind you, he's been the closest person to me in the house for a long time. And even after our friendship became like kind of stale, I just wasn't that much closer with anyone else. So he would tell me all this stuff, and I felt so bad for him. I was like, oh, they must not realize that, like, they're excluding him and he feels bad. And yeah, and like I talked to Lily and I was like, hey, like, you know, maybe spend a bit of time with Fed, like, he's lonely and stuff, and I was trying to help everyone. And I didn't know at the time, probably the reason Lily wasn't spending much time with him is because he tried to come on to her when she was sad as shit. And he warped my perception to be against these people. And so I know exactly how all of my friends were against me. I can't even imagine the way he warped their perception against me.
I
want to start off this statement by apologizing for my absence the past few days. Earlier this week, some of my friends sat me down and expressed that I had on several occasions made them feel uncomfortable and uneasy. In light of recent events, this pained me greatly, as it was not and has never been my intention to hurt those closest to me. I fully understand the importance of having their voices heard and believe I should take a step back and give them space and listen to their story. I made a point to this year to be better, as I often mentioned, I'm trying to take more responsibility in my life. I owe it to both my friends and everyone who supports me to own up to my actions, and that starts by listening to those I've heard. I want to make it clear that my intentions were never to act maliciously or predatorily. I am flawed, but I have issues that impede my friendships, issues with myself, but I'm not a predator, and I never wanted this to happen. What the fuck? Fed is gonna get fucking murdered by the Offline TV fans? I think so too, but I don't know. I think Offline TV fans really like him a lot.
I want to say, like, I think people were saying, like, that the statements were kind of like airing dirty laundry out or just like awkward flirting or whatever. For starters, flirting does not involve putting your hand in your friend's shirt that has a boyfriend that you live with, that you work with. That's not flirting. Like, just please don't. Secondly, a big reason why we felt the need to talk about this, as we said, feeling like he wasn't going to get better, but mainly as a warning. We're not necessarily trying to shame Fed into being a better person. We were just worried that something like this would happen again and again and again, even if it wasn't in our circle.
It may seem really bad to take away Fed's livelihood because he did these things. But what it does is it sends a very clear message to the rest of Twitch that this is not something that we as an industry will stand for. And that is a very important message to send. It is for that reason that I am okay completely with a ban from Fed. Fed may go, he's a very young guy, right? He may go through his life and realize he made bad decisions, and he may become a better person later. I hope that he does. But I guess the analogy that I'll use is you might have a kid and you tell them not to touch a hot stove, and they do, and they keep burning their fingers. And you say, if you keep doing that, you're going to burn your fucking hand off, right? And one day you burn your hand off because you hold your hand on the stove and it gets stuck there and it burns your hand. Well, you can never take back the wound that you've created.
Recent leaks have revealed the reasons for the permanent ban of Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect was found guilty on the charge of the illegal trafficking and smuggling of shungite imports from Portugal, and will face up to 30 years in prison.
Because I think Ray is almost at, 11 to 10, so they're a couple games away. One time I drank Pandan. You can drink it? I thought it was a waffle. Wait, guys, what is Pandan? It's not a waffle? You can drink it? I guess you could grind up a waffle, but that sounds a little bad. Oh. Got him. All right, that.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No. I'm really not in the mood. What are you talking about? A lot of things came out tonight. I didn't know the statements were coming out tonight, but they did, and you can probably go check the offline subreddit or tweets.
What I read, they decided to go public with it because they had brought it up to Fed, and they didn't feel like he was changing his behavior when with his power and influence, that he could still continue just doing the same thing to other girls. And I mean, at the end of the day, I support them for coming out with that stuff. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's not my story. Fed didn't do anything to me. I'm not the person who was the victim in this situation. It was the girls. And if you guys want to hear more about it, you should read what they had to say. I don't want to butcher or dilute their message. You know, hopefully this experience helps Fed change and grow as a person in the long run. nobody likes hearing this kind of difficult news, but I think it's really important when you see victims actually talking about it or bringing it to public awareness with the intention of trying to create a longer term change. So
If you like what you see, then consider subscribing. And if you already have, then make sure you hit that notification bell below.